What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another video here on Review and Preview Sports. It is NBA free agency season. We're pretty much in the heat of the offseason right now. The finals just ended, the draft just occurred, and now is the time where all of these new free agents are looking to either re-sign with their current teams or find a new home. And I'm here to talk about my Milwaukee Bucks and what they've done so far in free agency. And I love what the Milwaukee Bucks have done, especially due to the salary cap situation that we're currently dealing with. The first move that we really made of note was obviously Pat Connaughton opting into his player option, which was great. But the big news is re-signing Bobby Portis and adding other pieces to this team for the 2022-2023 season. But before I dive into the Portis contract and more, remember to just follow us on all of our social media platforms below. We're going to be covering a lot of free agency additions and signings and trades over the course of the next week or so. So make sure to go check us out on all of our social media platforms. If you like basketball, we have some baseball, hockey, and football stuff up on our YouTube channel as well at Review and Preview Sports. So Bobby Portis re-signs with the Deer, 4 years, $49 million deal. And I love this move. Bobby Portis has played the last 2 seasons with the Milwaukee Bucks at Fiserv, and he's arguably the most important player off the bench. Some people will argue it's Pat Connaughton, but Bobby Portis is 27 years of age. The Bucks did hold his early bird rights, but again, declining the player option because the Bucks were going to extend him. And for a guy who's only 27, he's likely the eventual replacement for Brook Lopez, and he sort of already is. I shouldn't say sort of. He is the better of the 2 players at this point. Bobby Portis started 59 games last season for the green and white, played 28 minutes per game, 14.5 points, 9 rebounds. He's a double-double machine, good defender, really good scorer. His perimeter shooting, too, is just another trait that I really like about Bobby Portis. And, all those Bobby chants in Milwaukee have gone a long way for him. And, he's found a home here in Milwaukee after jumping around a couple teams, Chicago and New York specifically. But Bobby Portis remains a Milwaukee Buck. And, Bobby and Pat are the 2 leaders on that bench mob. So Pat Connaughton and Bobby Portis continue to lead the way for the Milwaukee Bucks off the bench. 2 other players the Bucks re-signed. They kept their backcourt depth, re-signing defensive-minded guard Jevon Carter to a 2-year deal. Only played 20 games for us last year, shot 56% from three-point range. A second-round pick by the Grizzlies back in 2018. Spent his first 2 seasons in Phoenix and then started with Brooklyn last year. Got traded to the Bucks. Turned out to be a nice addition due to the George Hill injury. So there is some insurance there, and I don't mind keeping Jevon Carter at all. I was hoping more for a Tyus Jones type of player, but when you have a backup guard that can shoot the rock and play defense, you can't really complain too much. And then, of course, they bring back Wesley Matthews as well, who does the exact same 2 things, plays defense and shoots the rock. This deal is on a 1-year deal. Matthews now in the middle of his second stint as a Milwaukee Buck, 13 years in the league, averaging just about 5 points a game now, but he did start all 12 playoff games this past year. Grayson Allen was struggling a little bit, dealing with a bit of an injury bug. Matthews slides in as the starter, and he has that ability. So what the Bucks did with their limited salary cap, they found the way to give Portis the deal that they did, which includes a player option in year 4, re-signing 2 veteran guards that were on their roster last year. And the external move I want to point out is the addition of Joe Ingles. Bringing back Joe Ingles on a 1-year deal, or bringing Joe Ingles in on a 1-year deal, I should say, is a great decision in my opinion. The Bucks need to improve their bench to maximize Giannis's prime, right? They've tried developing Jordan Nwora over the past 2 years. His development has gone a little bit more sluggish than some had hoped. He's a restricted free agent. They're working on his contract rights right now, seeing if they'll be able to keep him. But Joe Ingles is a great addition. 24th best three-point shooter in NBA history by percentage. Spent his first 8 seasons with the Utah Jazz. Got sent over to the Portland Trail Blazers last year in a trade following his injury. Ingles is about 6'8", 41% throughout his career in three-point territory. So I really like that statistic. The only downside to Joe Ingles is he'll be 35 in October, and he suffered a torn left anterior cruciate in late January. So it'll be interesting to see if Ingles is able to overcome this injury. But when I'm looking at this Bucks roster heading into 2022, it's pretty obvious who your starting five is. It's Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo. You can pick your poison between Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez. They'll probably still go with Brook because he only has 1 year left on his deal. But with what they're paying Bobby Portis, it'll be interesting to see how that battle pans out. And then Grayson Allen as the two guard, and you're looking at the bench, it's Pat Connaughton, it's Bobby Portis. They're not going to have Joe Ingles to start the season, but eventually they're going to have him. You bring Matthews and Carter back. I think the Bucks, in my opinion, they're just about done in making free agency moves. The only thing they really might want to consider is bringing in a veteran big on a cheap deal, or whether it's a Gorgie Jang or Mike Muscala. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. But Bobby Portis re-signs, Joe Ingles, good wing shooter, adding some depth, and re-signing 2 veteran guards are the way the Bucks kick off their 2022 NBA free agency. Folks, if you like what you watch, make sure to subscribe to us on all of our channels below: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Anchor, YouTube, and we have a TikTok account now as well. You can catch up all our up-to-date videos on there, and appreciate everybody watching this video, and let's go Bucks.